Okay, so we've got a few new entries in the most pirated games for October 2016. The usual provisos apply, of course, whilst we're confident that these are the most pirated games in October 2016. Don't take the order too literally because there are so many different sources of information. And also, the information in this chart is for informational and educational purposes only. So, first, the most pirated game in October 2016 is none other than Pro Evolution Soccer 2017.
It's surprising, I think.
I wonder whether it's got anything to do with, first of all, the fact that FIFA 17 uses Denuvo and thus hasn't been cracked yet. I wonder if FIFA had been cracked, whether Pro Evolution would necessarily be at number 1 in the charts.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
I've also heard a few bad things. Well, whilst Pro Evolution Soccer does have a generally accepted halfway decent version this year, there's a bit of an issue with the PC version actually not being that great. So, I don't know, maybe people are kind of not wanting, just maybe wanting to try it out first. I don't know, this is all guesswork on our part. Number 2 in the charts is the Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition. This is newly released, did not use Denuvo protection as far as I'm aware, which is why it got cracked pretty quickly. Again, an interesting thing with Skyrim, I've heard a lot of reports that actually the old version of Skyrim runs a lot better with the very many user mods that basically make the user interface and the graphics better than actually Bethesda's job with the special edition.
Which is surprising. You think they'd just take the best of the mods and sort of change it slightly.
Do the Valve approach, exactly. Yeah. Just maybe license some of the best work there.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 3 is DragonBall Xenoverse 2. Number 4, another new release at number 4, Mafia 3. This is one I know that you're interested in getting hold of the retail version.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it was also quite interesting, as you said, it came up like within hours of release, so it's obviously not a Denuvo.
Definitely not Denuvo protection for Mafia 3. Yeah, I think it just used the standard Steam DRM, which is very quick to bypass by the looks of it, because games like that are literally on the file sharing sites within hours, if not minutes, of appearing for sale legitimately. Number 5 is Doom. This is persisting from last month. Doom was, of course, previously Denuvo protected, but has now been fully cracked and has maintained a high position in the charts ever since, despite being an absolutely massive file size. But of course, people who are getting the pirated version of Doom are starting to miss out now, because it are starting to, for example, just this week they rolled out an arcade patch for the multiplayer, and of course the multiplayer you don't get access to in the pirated version as of yet. GTA 4 is at number 6. This is the complete version.
Very surprising.
Yeah, I had to actually double take, because GTA 5 often appears in these charts, but this month, for some reason, GTA 4 has been doing better.
And this looks like the first month where GTA 5 hasn't actually been in the charts, or one of. I think it might have been one other month, but...
Yeah, I didn't encounter it when I was compiling these figures, actually. Farming Simulator 2017 is at number 7. Again, one of those games that's ever popular for some reason. Now, number 8, Quantum Break. This is something we mentioned last month. This, of course, was only partially cracked when it was originally out on the Windows Store, but when it was released on Steam, it didn't have Denuvo protection, and it was indeed fully cracked. I did mention last month that I couldn't confirm whether the movies were working with this version, but there are actually 2 versions on. We've rolled them both into one for the purposes of this chart. But there's one version that actually comes with all of the movies included with it, and it's an absolutely massive download. I think it's 100 gig plus, actually. But the version that was in last month's charts, which does not have the movies in, that actually does stream the movies off of Microsoft servers. So I bet Microsoft have some really interesting figures, actually, on how many people who are playing Quantum Break actually bothered to pay for it. NBA 2K17 is at number 9. Number 10 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This, of course, again, doesn't have a working multiplayer. It's the single-player version of the game, which I actually played for the very first time, because I've just upgraded my PC, and because I've had Call of Duty Black Ops 3 since it was released last year, actually, and haven't been able to play it because it's so badly optimised on the PC. It's such a poor job. 11 is Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was the big news story back in August, I think that got cracked, and it actually...
The floodgates have appeared to open.
Yeah, indeed, and it absolutely smacks down No Man's Sky, which was the other big release that month. The Sims 4 is at number 12, and then at number 13, which is what you can see on screen now, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. This is actually this month's headline, although we have had several new releases cracked, such as Pro Evolution Soccer 17, Skyrim Special Edition, and Mafia 3. Mirror's Edge is, yes, it's an older release. It was released, I think, just before the summer, but this was actually a Denuvo protected game.
Yes, which... I'd expect it to be much higher in the chart, but maybe it was because it was poorly received.
Yeah, that's my thinking as well, actually, because I thought this was going to be in the top 3, if not at number 1, to be honest. But I think the fact that it is older, the fact that it didn't do very well in the reviews, in fact it did really badly in the reviews, worse actually than the original game, which had major problems, the original game, despite what people say. So we got the rest of the top 20 in the comments below. I'll just pick out the fact that Witcher 3 is at number 20, the DRM-free Game of the Year version. We've got a couple of games that are outside of the top 20. There's My Summer Car, which is an indie game, and something I did actually want to comment on. When we started doing this around about 6 months ago, there were a lot of indie games in the chart. Now the chart is almost entirely consisted of AAA titles.
Maybe it is because of Denuvo being cracked, or less Denuvo titles possibly.
It could possibly, yeah, probably a combination of those two things. No Man's Sky, actually, I place at around about number 22, which is notable for just how badly it's doing in the charts. And that dropped like a stone even in last month. Let's just compare that with the Steam chart. So numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Steam charts. Sid Meier's Civilization 4. This is the standard deluxe, the pre-order standard, and the pre-order deluxe editions, because that's not at all stupid, is it?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, this has actually appeared in number 19 of the most pirated charts. So despite taking up no less than the top 4 places in the official Steam charts, not that many people are pirating it in the grand scheme of things, which is a really interesting thing.
That is definitely interesting.
Number 5 was Fallout 4. This is just outside of the top 20. I placed it at around about number 21, actually, just above No Man's Sky. Football Manager 2017 is at number 6. This is the only game in the Steam chart that has not yet been cracked.
I'd also like to put an interesting fact about this. I read something about there was a lot of uproar that there hadn't been a Japanese or Chinese.
Oh, Chinese version.
Yeah, and they were saying that if the 20,000 people who pirated it didn't, then they'd be able to do a Chinese or Japanese version.
Well, that sounds, I must admit, yeah, I saw a headline, I haven't read the story, but that sounds to me like really disingenuous excuses for not porting a game.
Absolutely.
To say that piracy has anything to do with it, especially when you consider that actually, when I was looking to see if it had been cracked, all of the previous ones have been cracked. There's 14, 15, all of those there. And also, with Football Manager, once you've played one, you've pretty much played them all. So I do not accept the piracy argument whatsoever. I think they're just saying, yeah, you know what, we couldn't be bothered. It would have cost us a bit of money and we, can't be arsed, mate. Number 7 is Doom. This is, of course, the 5th most pirated game of the month. Number 8 is Shadow Warrior 2. This is at number 15 in our most pirated charts this month. This actually has a Good Old Games version as well. So, once again, the fact that Shadow Warrior 2 has been released without DRM hasn't really hasn't first of all affected its sales because it's at number 8 in a very strong top 10 for Steam games, and also it hasn't really been pirated a huge amount.
No.
Number 9, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is ever present in the Steam charts. This has been cracked. Number 10, Fallout 4 Season Pass, which is number 21. In the Steam charts, because it's also at number 5 because of the way the Steam charts work, because obviously whoever compiles them isn't as skilled as us with the most pirated games. Indeed, yes. So an interesting month. I mean, as I said, the lack of indie games is perhaps the most surprising factor. The lack of Mirror's Edge Catalyst having a much higher placing in the charts. I noticed that Mafia 3 wasn't in the Steam charts, yet was at number 4 in our most pirated charts. I wonder if this is, because this is a game that has been absolutely hammered in the reviews, and also the PC version has been particularly criticised for poor optimization. I wonder if this is a case of try before you buy, for all the people who are genuinely interested in the game, but are slightly worried by the reception it's received, so are just sort of like giving it a try before they actually commit.
Dipping a toe in the water before jumping in.
Absolutely. Lots more at ParallaxLive.com. Do please help us out by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks ever so much for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next video.